Hello, guys, and welcome to the Claret Lounge talk show. This is the first ever talk show we're doing on the Claret Lounge. Normally, you'll see me on the Claret Lounge on tour at the weekends and away games, giving my thoughts of the game, the grounds, the team performances, things like that. I got a DM on Twitter going, Dave, let's try and do a talk show about Chelmsford City. And for a few days, I thought about it, and I've seen the past weeks of stuff going on within the club, the performances, all of the stuff going on in the background that we'll highlight as well. Connor's here as well to just help me go through the games and give his insight as he has a level 1 in scouting as well. So he'll bring his insight into football things as well. So I feel like we should maybe start on the football side, then come into the other stuff, what is happening at the club. Like I said, these are my personal thoughts as a supporter, and Connor's personal thoughts as a fan too. So you may agree with it, you may not agree with it. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. Connor's going to our form lately. It hasn't been great. 5 losses on the trot. I wouldn't say we've been outplayed many times or been outshot. Maybe like quality at times, things like that.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, looking at the teams we've played, I guess like 4 of those teams, well, one of them very top Dorking and the other 3 all in the playoff positions. And then I think one that was, but then like some of those games that we've been to, like I was at Oxford City and Eastbourne, and then I came to Dartford away, and the one that really just sort of felt like a punch in the gut was that Eastbourne at home game, because it just felt like the momentum was with Chelmsford most of the game. Really should have got at least 1 point out of that game.
Yeah.
I felt like Eastbourne didn't really like challenge Chelmsford much at all, and then it was just a really unfortunate
Goal.
Yeah, like I think most people were in disbelief as to how it went in, because I saw him put the low cross in. And I was thinking, oh, easy, just get on that,
Yeah.
smother it or whatever, or just punch it out. It'll be a corner, and then continue on. Like, to be fair, it did look like as the game went further on, we weren't going to get anything.
Yeah.
It seemed like we was lacking some experience up front.
Yeah,
Is that
I
how
agree.
you sort of felt?
I agree. I think we missed Jackson. Large parts of this season, last since the Hargenfield game. You can tell we miss him. Someone who's clinical in the penalty box area. He's a poacher. He's a good finisher. We missed him. We missed our captain Dave Wingfield over the past games as well. He got injured at Hungerford as well. He's a big players for us. Big senior players. I think someone like Dave Wingfield is a big character to lose. Always experienced playing in this division over the years. And we've got a young squad. We've got a very young squad. I think the average age is something like 22, 23 most of the time. And you look at the team yesterday, I think Cameron James is one of the senior players in their first team lining up. I'm trying to think who else is starting up. Sheringham, with his experience. Fringpom, still he's experienced at this level as well. But it's a very young squad. Landers played yesterday. I think 17, 18, I think he is. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and he had his debut in the first team against Eastbourne, and
Yeah.
watching him over both games, I've actually been quite impressed by him. He's got a great first touch.
Yeah.
He's very is quite composed and good with the ball at his feet, and he's actually, what was quite surprising to see, he's actually happy to run at the defence with the ball at his feet. Like in that Dartford game, he got an assist in his second game, and he nearly scored himself at one point. I think had he just had a little bit more experience,
Composure, maybe. A bit more composure as well, maybe.
he would have. Yeah, he would have probably scored that one. I think that was just a case. The ball suddenly came to him right in front of goal, and he just belted it. But unfortunately, it was just right to the keeper, but he is definitely one I'm excited to see more of. Here's a player that when the ball comes to his feet, you get sort of excited to see what he's going to
Yeah,
do.
I think I've been keeping an eye on his form in the reserves and in the academy team. He scored 4 goals last week. That's great for a young lad.
Wow.
So
That
good,
is,
good on him. Watching today, hockey young lads. Hockey today scored 2 goals today in the academy. After playing a few minutes last night as well. I think hockey and the Landers and Reggie, who's been out injured lately, if they can stay in the Claret shirt, they've got big futures with us. Young
definitely.
lads, hungry, got the desire. And they got the right attitude as well on them. So they're great lads, and we hope. And that's something that has been one of the positives this season. There hasn't been too much positivity going on really in the club.
Yeah.
It's been an up and down season a lot of time. And seeing these young lads coming into the team, hockey, I think 16, 17 maybe now. He was one of the youngest City players to make a debut back in last year. He played, he's a great lad. He's hungry. He wants to score goals. He's a striker, young lad. What we want to see really we would love to see a full team of these lads coming through, and being successful with us, So
Yeah, I like personally, when I watch football, if there's a like, especially when you're like following your team, and if there's a player that's come through from the academy and then like they make their debut and come through, I always find it that little bit more exciting and special to watch
yeah,
that player, because you then look at them more. You want to see them do well, see them have a good game, and like that was one of the positives I took from those 2 games was.
yeah,
And then another youngsters who's sort of had a good season this season, I'd say, is Blackwell. His went on a good run, scoring quite a lot since Boxing Day. Unfortunately, like quite a few of those goals just haven't been able to help get
yeah,
us the points. But he is
yeah.
he's becoming quite clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, I think he's improved massively. I think at the start of the season it
Mm.
was hard for him, a lad not playing at this level before. He played for like
Mm.
Canvey Island and Saffron Walden before. Obviously, a lot of it was missed out over the past 2 years as well. So a lad, he's got his match experience. Probably one of the first names on the team sheet as well now. I think his partnership with Jackson was really great before Jackson got injured. I think what you see yesterday is confidence building into the lad. He's
Yeah,
running that players, causing these like left back, right backs, all problems over the field.
yeah,
He
he's
does
got
it,
so much pace.
yeah. And desire. And what I like about him, he doesn't stop. There's a lot of desire,
Mm.
a lot of desire.
Yeah, and yeah, I think only thing like I think as he gets a bit more experience in it, like more preseason, like I think the only thing is missing from his game is just a little bit of strength.
Yeah,
Sometimes when you watch him, you can see some like if he's against some of the bigger, more experienced centre backs, which you do get a lot of
yeah,
in National League South. They do just like to push him around a bit, but that's something that will come with experience, and is someone who I think is gonna go have a good career.
yeah. 100%. I also want to mention Addy, the centre back for City. A really lovely guy. I've met him a few times in the clubhouse. Lovely guy, great footballer who's improved. Of course, he's still a young player as well. He's made a few errors, but he's a great defender that has come on miles and miles and miles over the past 2 seasons. He's a great lad, and I really hope we keep him this year. I think he's a big player for us. Um,
Yeah,
Looking at how he's developed the past 2 years, I think he's getting better and better and better. And I hope he stays. We can keep him. It'll be a big signing for next year. I'm trying to think who else we had this year. I want to say Isaacs. He's been a player that has really dug in deep for the team at times. He's been playing centre mid, playing fullback at times to cover that role as well. And when he's gone back fullback, you couldn't even tell that he's a centre mid because he's done a great job there as well. So I think Isaac's done really well there. Dara, I really like Dara. I really like him, but for me, I would like to see him a bit more consistent sometimes in his play. Just sometimes, going to the ground a bit too often, too easily. Sometimes but maybe a bit harsh on that. I really like the way he is. He's a fighter. He's got desire. I would like to see a bit more of him next year, hopefully, because it's down to budget really. Louis Dunn, I feel like we're still seeing, him growing as a player with Chelsea. He signed up for next year, so I'm excited to see what we can do the rest of the season here and next season. Who am I missing out anybody?
Yeah, I think it was quite like I was getting it with Vaz. Like I was getting excited, like seeing being quite excited in some of the games. He's like impressed me with his defense. Like sometimes he's putting some big strong tackles, and
Yeah,
he's got a good bit of pace on him, so he can cover that like full back left wing pretty well. And then he's got a good bit of if on an attack he does do his best to contribute for such a young lad. And then I think it was unfortunate him getting red
Do you think it was
card.
red card?
I haven't been able to watch watch it. I think I'll have to watch it back properly, see how close it was to the penalty.
Yeah, I think I thought the referee performance yesterday was absolutely dreadful yesterday. And I know I say it a lot on my lounge.
I think definitely the first half. First half, it was all Dartford with the referee.
I felt the first goal they scored, the free kick, was never a free kick. Got the ball. Obviously, I had a good angle. Maybe I'm being biased, but
yeah,
I can be biased. It's the Claret Lounge, so I can be biased.
yeah.
So I thought the player who made a challenge got the ball, and it was obviously
Yeah,
the ball.
I agree on that one.
A good free kick from distance. It's a bit harsh. If I said it was just say probably it was unsavable.
Yeah,
and I feel sorry for Dylan, who came in at late notice as well against Dartford, who are a big side as well. With Marsden being out, let's listen to Robbie's interview. He had a crack in his ankle. It's not great, so we're not too sure how long he's out for. But yeah, it's been, like I said earlier, it's been a hard season this year, and Robbie's had a really hard job because he hasn't got the biggest budget. He's relied on loans, and he's been clever in the loan market. He's put some good players in. He put Rush in. He's looked quite well. He's done a great job. Things like that. Who else was done what? Imre, great signing. Imre coming back to Claret was a great signing. That's a great signing. Dickens, I thought, has been solid for us as well from Cambridge.
Yeah, Dickens has really impressed me at the centre back. Is another one where there's a lot of time I'm used to sometimes when you see young players, especially young centre backs.
Yeah.
When the ball lands to them, they either kick it first, boot it first touch, or pass it away first touch, and they don't want to hold it. Whereas he is happy to, once he's got that ball, if there's a bit of space, he's happy to roam forward with that ball and actually gain some space. And also he puts him he's so good aerially, and he's also happy. He's got great strength on him. Puts in some big challenges. I think, I couldn't slate him at all. He's been, I think, brilliant.
100%. Yeah, like I said, I think we've got to just hopefully now get some results, because we're in that relegation battle where I thought we wouldn't be now. I thought we'd clear of that battle, but Welling on Saturday is a massive game now. I think it's must win, must not lose.
Yeah.
Because I think if we lose on Saturday, we could be going down. Because if we've still got a lot of hard games coming up, and we've still got a lot of injuries. We've got Vaz out for 3 games now, I think, as well, or 2 games now. Not too sure what it is.
And there's the issue with isn't it Concord home game at the end of the season?
Yeah, so I'm gonna get into that in a bit later on as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that will be an issue we talk about in a minute. There's a lot of stuff going on in the club. I'll probably in about 2 minutes' time we'll talk about all the issues and all the stuff going on, because we need to talk about this sort of things, because this is Chelmsford City Football Club. Chelmsford City Football Club, where things aren't being done to a high standard. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. The fans are unhappy. They're talking about, having a good fans relationship in the 10-year vision. That is not happening right now. That is nowhere near happening. First of all, no one knows what the 10-year plan is. You can put it in the program in a small notes section. Yeah, it doesn't help anybody. No one knows what the 10-year plan is. What year are we in the 10-year plan? No one knows. You know, I think the communications. I got to feel sorry because the media officers at the club have done a tremendous effort over the past year to improve the communications at the club. I think Andrew Haynes has done an incredible job. The lad is a young lad working his trade, and I found out today he's actually leaving the club this season. In a month or so, I think, and I think he's done an incredible job bringing that standard up and bringing communication up. I just feel there's been a lack of help to him through the hires up in the club to support him, and I'll go into that now because right now the atmosphere from supporters' view to up to the owners, the chairman, is a lot of negatives. There's no positives that can be talked about. Like a communication coming up about stuff like Concord versus Chelmsford City at Melbourne Park. It looks like it can't be played at Melbourne Park because there's a athletics meeting on the day. And it's been hushed up. So no one's meant to talk about it. But it's been put over social media, so now everyone knows about it, and the club has still remained silent about the issue. The club could have came out and made a statement and saying, yeah, there's an issue, we're working on it, and people went, okay, thanks for letting us know. But once again, it's been left and left and left and left. People are begging for communications about this. This is how it's been all year round. It's not good enough. The shares issue, not good enough. You hear about, it's getting sorted out. That is not good enough. That is nowhere near good enough. When? What's the timeline? And former people off going, yeah, it's been done doing it. It's not good enough. Like I said earlier, I feel sorry for Robbie because I think the budget has been hard on him this year. He hasn't been able to bring in players that when we have injuries or things like that because there's no money there. Where's the investment that we need to make us improve? They were talking about going up in the league, but battling for promotion. I don't see that for a few years. Because where's this investment coming from? Who's coming from? Because every time I hear that someone's interested in helping out Chelmsford City, that the chairman doesn't want to bring them on board because they don't want to do certain things. I don't see where it's coming from. I don't see any positive right now. And if we do go down this year, what's going to happen? Where's the money coming from? Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant right now, but I'm fed up. I'm angry. I'm annoyed because this is our football club of fans. About fans, the club is nothing, and it's been run into the ground. At times this year, it's been dreadful. Been absolutely dreadful. We go to games, and most of the time it's people who want to enjoy their weekends, and seeing City win or seeing your friends at football is what this is about. We will back them lads for 90 minutes per week. We love this club, Even though we lost the last 5 games, we clapped them off because we love the lads and what the hard work they're putting in. It's not about the players because the players, they've had their youngsters. A lot of them are young, and they're working hard. And you got to feel sorry for Robbie because Robbie's got to go into that dressing room and motivate his lads that have maybe haven't had that a lot of experience and probably a bit nervous sometimes coming onto the pitch. It's hard because I look at social media and no one's happy. No one's happy. You got lots of fans walking away from this club who they've supported for 30 odd years, 40 odd years, and they're walking away. It's not good. And the chairman sits there and doesn't care. He wants helpers to help. He wants more volunteers to come and help. But it's not. What is it? If you volunteer for the club, what do you get? Free entry? Yeah, great. There's nothing. There's nothing. You got people who work their asses off. What work so hard to do things for the club, and what they get in return is a joke. It's not good enough. Like, I try not to be negative. During my Claret Lounge at weekends, I try not to be negative. But I feel like enough is enough, and it's time to use my platform, doing my streaming, doing my talk shows, and doing whatever we do. Is to say things got to change. Because when do you speak up? When we're out of business, we've got no funding. We got no people coming into that club. When did you speak up? I think it's right time is now. I think the 10-year plan's a joke. I don't understand how you have a 10-year plan and have all these people in charge of a 10-year plan saying it's changed. How's it changed? What? Who's in charge of what? Like, it's just simple things like that. Carpet not being fitted. It's embarrassing. There's probably hundreds of carpet fitters in the area of Essex, Chelmsford, surrounding areas. It's embarrassing. Apparently he's on holiday. How long is he on holiday for? 4 weeks? 6 weeks? Be honest. If you can't find a carpet fitter, ask for help. People will point you in the right directions. If you can't do it, can't afford it, let us know you can't afford it. The website issue. It's a joke. All season. Same old website. Same old stuff still on the website about breakfast you can get. You can't even get breakfast anymore. It's a joke. For a fact, I know how long I was part of the team that I say I was part of the team. You had the 3 guys that were part of the SC committee and a fan came on board to create a new website. We had a guy who makes websites for a living. You know, he came in, helped us. 3 months, I think it took, if that, to make a new website. That was done by volunteers. I don't understand what's going on. This is a football club in a hub of a community, and it's been run into the ground. It's a club I love, and I don't know where it's going. The club I've been watching since I'm 5 years old. I don't know where it's going. And it's hard to see. It's hard to watch. People walking away, most of your life are walking away from the club. They're fed up. They're angry. But yeah, I don't know where we're going. But I want to sit here and talk as Dave, the fan today, and say this is not good enough anymore. Because it's not. It's not fair on people who volunteer at the club, who work their arse off for the club as volunteers. People who become to the ground for years and years and years supporting this club. To see it running this way is a disgrace. And like I said earlier, I hate being this. I like that being negative. But there's no positive right now. There's no positive. There's fans are not happy. You know. And I feel like I'm sitting here talking a lot. I do apologise. I'm passionate. Okay. I am passionate about this club. And how it's been run right now is not good enough. It's a joke. We have an owner that has been to probably 1 game over the past few years. It's embarrassing. We've got a chairman who won't get help in and get investors in. The one guy we want to see is Dan, and he's in Singapore. The guy we want here with us is in Singapore. That's the best part of that Q&A a few weeks ago, that we heard from Dan for the first time in Singapore. And he's an Essex, Chelmsford lad. He's supported Chelmsford all his life. That's the guy we want. And he's all the way in Singapore. You know, I'm probably going to get a lot of sort of hate for this, but I don't care anymore. Honestly, I've had enough. And I'll always speak my mind. I'm a Chelmsford City fan. I always use a platform for that. Connor, have you got any thoughts on this?
I personally, I think after as you know yourself, and after quite a few of the fans I met at the away game, I'm sort of I've been coming to Chelmsford City games maybe a couple of seasons ever since the Wycombe Wanderers FA Cup game, and then it's only really this season I've started coming more regularly. But I think I don't know. I think just one of the biggest changes I've noticed would be sort of on the usually some of the Chelmsford cities I remember seeing when I first came along, it was full of there was always an abundance of experience usually, and there was always, like, at least when I was coming along, always playoff contenders usually. So it's a shame to see them in the position where they're at right now. But in terms of like the actual running of the club, I can't really comment on that. I don't know enough myself, so like
It's hard. It's hard, isn't it?
yeah,
It's hard.
I personally don't know enough myself, and I know there's lots of other fans like yourself and others who have been coming for years and know a lot more. So I'll leave that bit to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think one thing, guys, you put some of you agree with me. You know, I'm here just putting how I feel, how I see things. You know, and I love this club. This club, I've been coming for a long time. With my granddad, you know, we went everywhere together with the club. On the coaches, you know, everywhere we went together. You know, and I'm just fed up. I'm fed up with hearing the same stuff come out. And I got to say, there's some great people in that club. Like I said earlier, Andrew Haynes done a great job. Ben Parks, who does Radio Claret for all the fans that can't make it to the games, absolute heroes. All the volunteers and matches to make sure the games go ahead, absolute heroes. Without these people who do these jobs, there wouldn't be a football game. There wouldn't be a Chelmsford City. And that's how it is. I just want to say a big thank you to all the volunteers as well who do their hard work match days. I was there at the weekend at 12 o'clock. They're all there already, setting up the stadium, making sure the dugouts are out and things like that. They're absolute heroes. And for me, they don't get enough credit. So thank you to the volunteers. I was also mention Martin Guard has brought all the equipment for the new SC headquarters, what is amazing to use, and has also brought the William in bar as well. So Martin, thanks for that. It's great for the SC and the football club. So thanks for doing that as well. I think we might end it there. I think that's a good way to end. I think we do this weekly. Are we doing this weekly? Probably do this, maybe.
I'm happy to, and
Yeah.
we can discuss the Chelmsford City results a bit more in depth each week.
I tell you, it has been more of me just saying how I feel, and I understand people might think differently, or you know, I open invite Steve Shaw at any part of the ownership of the club to come on, have their view. I openly invite that to happen. If they want to do that, feel free. If they don't want to do it, I understand. Like I said, I'm up every away game, home game. Come talk to me. You know, feel free. I'm happy to do whatever. I know Steve Shaw's watching this. You might not agree with what I've said, but I'm passionate about my club. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, like, and share. Let me know your thoughts on social media. Dave Ramsey TV on Twitter. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Connor, as well.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.